Hey everybody, welcome back to Vendor Ridealong. My name is Jason, of course. We're back in the car. We're about to pick up Sarah Wiley Joyce of SRW Joyce Photography on our way to Mattydale, home of Zebs. And, well, not much else, to be honest with you. It's Mattydale. We'll be back in a second with Sarah from SRW Joyce Photography, and we'll see you guys on the other side. I got a haircut today.
It looks nice. You got all your hairs cut today.
I call it the 33-year-old white guy. This is Sarah. Say hi.
Hi.
She's nervous. That's okay. She is the owner and photographer and overall creative guru behind SRW Joyce Photography. Why don't you tell us just a little bit about SRW Joyce Photography?
I started as an artist. I went to school. I've always been an artist since I was like little girl style. What do you want to be when you grow up? An artist, an art teacher, fashion designer, whatever, you know, something along the lines of drawing. I see the world differently. It's something I didn't recognize until I was an adult. I really took photography for granted. I didn't see the value in it for a long time. Every time I would take a photography class, it was kind of like, oh, anybody could do this. You're just pressing a button and whatever, which I find that a lot of consumers like kind of have that layman's perspective of like, you know, oh, they get paid so much money for just pressing a button.
You're talking, yeah, you're talking to somebody who plays music at weddings.
Right, exactly. Right. So you know what I'm talking about. And so it's one of those things that like I didn't realize until I got into the world of it, like that it really does take an eye. It really is the person that's using the camera that makes or breaks that photo, and it's the composition and it's the story. Like I'm constantly looking for light and dark and shadows and the way that the beauty in the world plays, just because that's what would inspire my paintings up until
As an artist, do you feel that that gives you something different, something that you can offer to a client that maybe somebody else can't?
Gives me a huge edge, as long as it's somebody who values that part of photography. There's a lot of people nowadays that it's like they do see the value in having a photojournalistic person with a creative and artistic flair at their wedding who blends right in. It's like having a girlfriend with a badass camera that has fun with you. Like my work is my social life. I make friends with all my clients. All my friends become clients, my clients become friends. There's like a huge blurry line there.
Sometimes fellow vendors become friends.
True.
Hey! I'm really interested in the signs that you make.
The signs?
Yeah, the signs.
So basically I started noticing all these really funny, cute signs, like, you know, trust me, you can dance vodka.
I call that Pinterest Nation.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Thank you, Pinterest. See, I got married pre-Pinterest. I think it deserved a career trophy for that. Now, I mean, I love quotes. I have quotes written all over my house. I'm huge with handwriting and with typography and calligraphy.
So these signs that you make, is this sort of like a premium service that you offer, or do you just make them and bring them?
I had a bride talking about how she wanted to find someone to make these signs, or she needed to make these chalkboard signs, and I was like, I could do that for you. And then it was like I posted on Instagram, and everybody's like, I want you to like make that sign like for my wedding. Now it's just kind of become a thing. Like a lot of my brides, when I shoot their weddings, I ask them if they have any signage or other creative needs. And a lot of the times I just kind of am on hand. So instead of just being your photographer, I'm kind of like your creative director.
This is the first time I've ever been physically assaulted on
sorry.
She hit me in the arm. It's on video. It's on video. That's assault. What if you were to sort of like describe it, what's the experience of getting Sarah to photograph the wedding?
So basically, I guess a lot of the feedback that I get from my brides is like just personality-wise, I bring a fair amount to the table. I get to know my brides on an intimate level.
Could you think of maybe any drawback to shooting weddings in 2016?
See, I'm a little bit different than the other photographers in that regard, I would say, because this would be the part that most people are like, I hate the Uncle Bobs and the cell phones and the stuff, and there's so much technology. Like I said, I'm a storyteller, so it's like if there's Uncle Bob and he's in your face with his big camera and he's taking pictures, like 9 times out of 10, I just kind of turn right to Uncle Bob and start taking pictures of Uncle Bob. One of two things will then happen. Either we'll continue taking pictures and then I'll continue taking and he'll just be part of the story, part of the narrative, or he packs up his stuff and moves away because he doesn't want to be in front of the camera.
So it's almost like shaming them in a way. It's like, hey, I'm the professional with the bigger camera. How about you stay in your lane?
That's how I experience weddings. That's how I tell the story. Like, I tell it from my perspective. And so anytime I have a couple that's like, you know, oh, I need some good shots with my mom. Could you get some candid shots with my mom? It's like, yeah, hang out with your mom.
Right. And how do you go up to somebody and say, can you take a candid shot of this? By asking that, it kind of negates the ability to take a candid shot.
So I just tell them, I reassure my couples all along. It's like, listen, just do the things that you want caught, and I will be within 3 feet of you, and I'll be catching anything that happens. Like, anything that happens will be caught and told. You know what I mean? And even the things that you didn't see happening will be caught and told. Especially if we have a second shooter involved.
How often do you have a second shooter?
I prefer having a second shooter. It makes my day better. It gives me somebody else to kind of like work things out with and talk to. I don't work with people if they can't handle picking up my load. Like, so if somebody else has their own business, and that's the only type of people that I work with, is if somebody else could handle being the primary shooter. So if I have a massive coronary, or if my son cracks his skull open and I have to like hightail it out of there, which has never happened, knock on.
Yeah, there you go.
I am fully equipped and prepared to let my second shooter, you know, take on the role and edit the photos that are taken afterwards.
How do you choose who's a second shooter? You just like throw it out, hey, by the way, I need a second shooter, and then out of nowhere somebody's like, oh, I'll do it, you know?
Basically, for me, it was finding someone with largely candid stuff, because I'm not a very posy person. There is like a mandatory posing part with the bride and groom. I call it the love bubble, and it's a mandatory session part of the day. At some point after the bridal party photos and the family photos are taken, I encourage the bride and groom or the couple to walk away from the wedding and just take 10 minutes to 20 minutes just to themselves. And 9 times out of 10, you want to know the first thing that my couples say to each other?
What's that?
Hi. It's not until that, when I pull them away and I'm like, hi, look at your husband, look at your wife, that they're like, hey. Like, they haven't had 10 minutes to just like check in with each other.
You do this during the reception?
Yeah, well, during cocktail usually.
During cocktail, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So like right before the intro.
I can tell you how much DJs love it during dancing when their couple gets taken away from the dance.
That only happens if there's an epic sunset.
That's not true for you, baby.
And
I was going to turn back on 81 South, but now I'm on 81 North.
We're just taking the scenic route.
That's right, and it's not bad.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, you know what?
Like,
let's just keep going. We'll hit Canada. Have you ever considered doing any kind of like a hand portrait of brides and grooms?
Yes, and I've started doing that.
That's a good idea.
So, to be continued.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
No, I've started doing that, and we'll see how those go. But right now they are gifts.
How often do you do first looks?
Now I'll do them a lot. I do them a lot more. When I first started doing wedding photography, I was like, that's blasphemy. I won't do it. That's ridiculous. Why? Because I just felt like I was a traditionalist a little bit, which as non-traditional as I am, I know, like, I'm so non-traditional. And then I thought about it a little bit longer, and I was like, you know what? This is up to me. This puts the ball in my court. It's up to me to turn this into a ceremony. This is the first time they're going to see each other. This is my job to make this a ceremony for them. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I did, and ever since I love it. Even if you do a first look, I'll make you do a love bubble style.
I'll make her happy.
He's purchasing a poster from me. Pleasure doing business with you.
Yeah. So yes, again, to wrap it up, impart on the people out there, why should they hire you?
Well, I guess for me, it's like you should hire me if you like my portfolio.
Good.
You know, if you look at my stuff and you're like, yes, I love all of this.
Okay.
Then hire me. And if you call me or we go get a drink and you're like, yes, this chick is awesome, hire me. If you just want like a different take on what your wedding would look like through the eyes of an artist, then you should.
She was nervous and she just killed it, ladies and gentlemen. Where can we find you online?
Well, there's SRW Joyce. I bought SRWJoyce.com and SRWJoycePhotography.com. So I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram.
What's your Facebook? It's just SRW Joyce Photography?
Facebook is SRW Joyce Photography, but on Instagram I'm at SRW Joyce Photography and at Artsy Fartsy Mama.
And for anybody who wants to reach out through like email or phone, if you want to get that out?
Sarah at SRWJoycePhotography.com.
If you're looking for an artistic journey, if you're looking for somebody who's a little bit more laid back, someone who's going to be your friend and be there the entire time, but not be too in your face, SRW Joyce Photography. I recommend them. I love working with her. It's awesome. She's been on my shoulders, and that's a true story. We will tell that story the next time you're on.
Yeah, you should.
All right.
All right.
All right. Get the hell out of my car.
All right, bye.
All right, see you later. Thank you so much to Sarah from SRW Joyce Photography for joining me on Vendor Ridealong this time around. I hope you guys check her out. She's absolutely a fantastic photographer. I cannot stress that enough. She's wonderful. In the meantime, again, my name is Jason. My company is Salt City Sound Machine, mobile DJ services, serving Syracuse and the central New York area. If you're looking for a DJ, you can check us out at sdsoundmachine.com. If you are a vendor who wants to be on Vendor Ridealong, I'd love to have you on. Just send me an email to info@sdsoundmachine.com and we'll get you right on. In the meantime, guys, have a great day.